Hello. Just popping in today to give a little personal testimony to the truth of God's Word. I was listening to a sermon while I walk, something I do, and it's a Joyce Meyer one, and it's an abbreviated, it's not a full sermon. Anyway, we're talking about how our thoughts, our words, and our emotions affect our bodies. And you know this. I mean, you've heard this. Stress can kill you. What you say, that old saying, sticks and stones will hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. Not true. 100% not true. That is BS. Because words hurt worse than beatings a lot of times. Words can kill you, and words can cause, much more lasting damage to our hearts, our souls, our minds, and our bodies. Anyway, let's love this quote from the sermon. Dis-ease, not being at ease, right? Or calm or at peace. Dis-ease can cause disease. Whoa, is that not great? I love little sayings like that. Anyway, in spite of being immensely in love with my husband, he was a wounded warrior. He was extreme narcissistic behavior, paranoia, jealousy, etc. On top of my already interesting past and grief and whatnot that I was dealing with. And by early 2018, 2019, y'all, I was a teetotal mess. I can't even say tea. I was sugar honey iced tea. I was a mess. I hurt. At that point, I probably gained 30, 40 pounds. I went out to top around 50 before it was all said and done. Hence, I went back to walking so that I could get my, body back that I liked. Anyway, so by early 2018, 2019, I was a wreck. And I hurt everywhere. I was having very frequent, sometimes quite debilitating heart palpitations. I had an enlarged heart. I was on antidepressants, 2 different kinds of anti-anxiety, steroids for inflammation, heart medicine, thyroid medicine. They put me on something for cholesterol. At one point, another medication to control my heart palpitations. I was getting shingles every year. I'd had shingles 2017, 2018, 2019. That was the last year. I had them quite all. 2014 was my first year that I'd had shingles. Yearly, like always about the month of July for some reason. I was heartburn. Oh yeah, I was on stuff for heartburn. I hurt. I was having anxiety attacks. I was drinking too much, self-medicating, trying to cope. My stomach was in knots all the time. And that was in spite of having been chemical free in our home for 2 years, right? So, I was doing good things for our kids. I mean, I was on the right track. And you always hear stress can kill you, blah, blah, blah. But being the autistic that I am, when I'm in the middle of a personal emotional storm. I don't see it. I don't get it. Yeah, I was a wreck. I mean, I was happy when he was happy or everything was good. But then invariably, he always had episodes and they were painfully personal. And I was just a mess. There was no ease. There was not peace. In my heart or in my life, there was none of that. Not really. I mean, my kids brought me joy. I was still dealing with grief. I mean, my grief sat out there and just was gnawing away at me. But grief just sits there until you deal with it. Anyway, and so it has taken, this is early 2023, 5 years. And now today, and because I believe in natural and homeopathic, and I started studying, doing emotional counseling, right? Going to counseling, going to therapy, studying, praying, getting closer and closer to God. And I think the big thing, because you have to forgive, and what we think in our heart comes out, and it was just such great sadness and pain and frustration, and then, sometimes anger. Had a lot more of hidden that, in my heart and soul. Because when you become wounded, you can get angry. So I think at one point I counted 8, 9, 10 different medications. I mean, Advil and Tylenol all the time. Sinus medication, yes. As I talk, I remember everything I was on. Yes, and Benadryl allergies for the itching. Like, I would have severe itching and outbreaks and hives and rashes. Disease in our mind and our soul, in our heart, will bring about disease in our body. And I don't recommend doing this without much investigative studies and knowledge. But by now, the only thing I really am on a regular basis still is half of a dosage of one heart medication. That is my only prescription. I mean, I do frequently, I will take ibuprofen, and occasionally, sinus, because even though we started living naturally, taking my nursing training into the natural realm, that only happened in 2017. So was I into my 50s? I was into my 50s by then. And and here we are today in the chaos of the world that the world is in right now, and have never been more at peace in spite of everything. And I just want to testify, or just say, yeah, it's true. It is true. Disease of the mind, of the heart, and in your soul does bring about disease in your body. So that's just my testimony to that. Those who know me know that I 100% advocate for the natural life, chemical, synthetic free, as much as you possibly can, eating healthy, organic, growing your own, as much as you can possibly afford. And the other one is, this was stated in there too, cast all your cares upon the Lord because he cares for you. So, that's my cue to stop. It's raining big time. So, be blessed.